Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Besa Perek He Mishna Aleph, last perek of this Masechet, and we're going to speak about now on Yom Tov lowering fruits through a skylight. So, if a person, a lot of times they would have on their rooftop, if you see this picture up here, they'd have on their rooftop a hole, right? They would use the roof itself for drying out fruits, right? They would turn their grapes into raisins and dry out the apricots, whatnot. This is how they would preserve fruits for the winter season, right? They didn't have a supermarket and produce constantly coming in from different countries from around the world. So they would dry out their fruits, save them, and what would they do is they would lower them, right? Let's say you happen one holiday on Yom Tov, it starts to rain, right? You don't want them, these dry fruits getting ruined from the rain. So what could you do? You could go ahead and lower them through this, skylight or this trap door on top of your roof and lower it down to the bottom. That's an option, and that's going to be discussed in this Mishnah. So mashlim perot derech aruba b'yom tov, you're allowed to go ahead and lower fruits through an aruba. An aruba, modern Hebrew could be a chimney. Right over here, it's more like a skylight type of fixture. B'yom tov on the holiday itself, avalo b'Shabbat, but you cannot do so on Shabbat. Now, why are you doing this? So it could either be, Rashi explains that over here, it could be for a financial loss, right? Because you don't want to lose anything, so we're allowing you to go ahead and do so. Rambam doesn't seem to explain that. He seems to explain that we're talking about over here because the person needs the space, right? He needs that space on the rooftop. Right? So not necessarily because it's raining, right? I explained in the introduction because it's raining. No, that's the way Rashi would explain it. But let's say a person just needs a space. He's having guests over or not. He wants to move it over because he needs that area. He's allowed to move it. That's the way Rambam explains it. About lo b'Shabbat, but not on Shabbat itself. Also separately, you're allowed to move it down into your house, but you can't move it from one roof to another. Right, one roof to another. They would do that. That's something that's really too similar to something that's done on a weekday. Right, that's a weekday action, and we know you're not supposed to do things the way you do it on a weekday. So therefore, you can't go ahead and take it to another rooftop, or you are allowed to take it downstairs into your house. If a person's allowed to cover his fruits with other utensils from a leak, let's say something is dripping onto the fruit, so you cover these fruits, with the utensils. And similarly, if a person has jugs or barrels of wine and oil, you go also cover these, right, with other utensils so they don't get ruined from the leak. Even allowed on Shabbat, right, even on Shabbat, you're allowed to go ahead and put a keli, right, you take a utensil, take a bowl and put it under a bucket underneath the leak to protect your house from getting ruined, or whatnot. You're allowed to go ahead and do that even on Shabbat.